Oh, yes. Can you tell I'm playing for time? Good evening. Well, it's not Thursday. It's actually Friday night. We're in high G's, though. And it's the JFDI podcast. It's the series 1 finale, if you will. I'm just... I have that bottle opener. Do you? Have you got the same one? We probably stole it from the same pub. Right. Okay. Good evening, one and all. Welcome. Cheers. Happy Friday. That was a bit of a Hayley intro there. No clues as to what might be happening. However, it's a Friday instead of a Thursday. I've got not one guest, 2 or 3, but 4 guests for you tonight. I'm really excited, and I'm equally scared. I wouldn't say apprehensive is so much. I think scared is genuinely the best descriptor. But more excited. I'm really looking forward to bringing these ladies on screen and hearing their chat, talking about their songs. We've had to arrange things slightly differently to normal, but that's all good. We're up for a challenge, and I'll probably best introduce them first. But here's the thing. Bear with me 1 second, and I'll tell you. Okay. Right. So I'm just waiting on them coming in to the room. So you need to bear with me. Right. It's like when you have a. I was going to say the word diva, but I better not, because I'll just get in trouble before they even join. But you know what I mean. Waiting on when celebrities appear on like talk shows, or like when bands play gigs, and there's always a rider, isn't there? I'm wondering whether or not that might have been a good question for tonight as well. Who would be the most demanding in a rider? Okay, so I should put some tunes back on for you, right? Okay, listen, we have some technical problems. Let's have the Might work this time. Maybe that's it. Maybe the virtual rider that I provided the ladies with was just too much. Who is the most likely to get steaming and not turn up on a JFDI podcast? Apart from the host. Oh, I know. The anticipation is killing me too. I'm having a chat with. I'll tell you what I'm doing. Talk you through it because it's quite funny. So I'm having a chat with Leisa. Leisa's in charge of the tech, and she says we're ready. And I said, click on the link. You're not in the studio. She said it says we're backstage. So I've sent another link, and I'm just saying I don't know who's backstage. You're in. Oh, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Okay. Let's dull that. And oh, now I don't know if anybody can hear a roar in the background. It would appear that we are go again. Speedway season's kicked off. We live opposite the Speedway, which they told us when we moved in. They said, but don't worry, it's not on all year. It won't bother you. It's only on like Friday nights. Never has bothered us. Been along a few times. It's pretty cool. When Glasgow take on Edinburgh at Speedway, that's quite cool. It's occasionally been on Sky Sports. There you go. You can probably just see our house just over the top. Anyway, let's try and get these ladies into the studio. You didn't come on here to hear me banging on about the Speedway in the background. Come on, ladies. All right then. I heard a beep. Yes, I heard a beep. Oi, oi. I'm not sure if that is Kyle or whether or not that's his father. But oi, oi. We'll assume it's Kyle. Who else have we got? Let's have a look. We've got Delta Mike on this evening. Good evening. Are they trying to be fashionably late? Yeah, it's not working. Dunbet Golf. Do you think they've all got smashed and gone down the pub? Quite possibly. No, I don't think so. I think that they're. I can't. Let's see if I can accept this. Okay. I'm not sure how this will work, but let's see.
Oh, Pinky, we're having a mare. Oh my God, it won't connect for some reason. In either. Right, I'm just going on again. Right. So if I go on to StreamYard, is there another place where I can enter the code?
You just click on the code. That's all you need to do. Just click on it.
Well, that's what I've tried to do, but I can't. What I'm going to have to do is log on to Messenger on this laptop because we were just typing in the code. So I think I'm going to have to log on to Messenger to be able to do it.
Okay.
All right. Can you just give us 10 minutes?
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry, folks. Sorry.
No probs.
Talk to you in a mo.
Bye.
Bye.
$10 minutes. What are we going to do for 10 minutes? This will be like putting socks on a rooster. I know. I mean, I could probably talk for 10 minutes. I don't know. Do you know? I should have had a backup. It's interesting. It's happened once or twice where we've had some technical problems, but this is what happens. We just crack on. We just get on with it, and we, you know what, adapt, overcome. Time to go and pour a drink. Yeah, there you go, Louise. That's the outlook to have. It is what I'm going to do. Is I am going to pop on some. I'm going to pop on a tune, and I'm going to come back myself in 5 minutes. So I'm not going to cut the stream. I'm just going to leave it live. And because if I cut it, I'll need to start another one. So anyway, we'll just put some tunes on. Have a little boogie in high G's. I'll get the lights on. Just have a little dance, or go as Louise has done and pour yourself a little drink. You could tell us about Force Forward or the Disappearing Scotsman. Oh, well, I could tell you about both of those. But what do you know what I'll tell you about instead? So a little bit about both, actually. Combine both into one story. So I was out at lunchtime for a run, and I had kind of gone out, lunch break from work, gone out, decided on having a run, and it was one of those runs where I just getting some tunes on and just kind of gone for it, just like not flat out, but you know, a good sort of 80%, and just push and just focused on the breathing like all the way around. So not just kind of trying to like just forget about forget about everything and just focus on the breathing and just actually focus on the run. So I was doing this. The run's about 3 miles. So about 2 miles into the run, and I'm really giving it the big one on the breathing, sucking in all the oxygen and really focusing on using the old Wim Hof techniques and stuff, like just getting all that oxygen into every part of the body, you know, kind of visualizing the veins and capillaries carrying all that oxygen into all of the different muscles and all the different parts of your body, right? Really just focusing on it. And as I got, there's a bit on the run where it's almost like I've kind of gone out on a loop, and as the loop starts to come back, up at the Arnold Clark garage on the way to the station, near the station, I kind of loop down past the station onto like a cycle track that runs down the side of the railway line. And as I was coming down there, it was just so I do know I need a new pair of trainers, because I think my gait, my stance, my body alignment, call whatever it is, right? It's always meant that my shoes wear on the outsides. How weird, right? So like the right hand side, or the outside of both heels on the left and the right, kind of wears down. So like, you know, the soles of the back, the heels of your shoes like that, and they always kind of like go like that. It's like a walk, kind of funny. So anyway, that kind of became very, very noticeable when I hit the flat on the cycle track. And at the same time, as I kind of realized that, I was like, oh, okay. And I was flowing. I was running and I was just kind of flowing. And then all of a sudden, some stuff came flying into my mind. And so I'm going to mention the name Eddie Cuba to you. And I'll just say that. That's all I'll say. And you might hear more on that from my good friend, Mr. Back, and I very, very soon. But the other thing that then just came screaming into my mind was I've been thinking about the plot for the sequel to The Disappearing Scotsman. And I've kind of got a main loose plot, and a kind of subplot. But before I started kind of writing everything down, I wanted to have like a little another sort of theme, like running through underneath those, plot and subplot. And cut a very long story short, not only did that come, but I kind of flipped a few things around, and actually it's all become clear. So I've almost got this picture of what The Disappearing Scotsman 2 looks like from here to here. Now all I have to do is write it. So there you go. And I have started it. I've started like the opening scene is what I've done. So there you go. Anyway, right. Guess what? Guess what? The girls are here. I shouldn't have been playing Kylie Minogue. I should have been playing Here Come the Girls. That's what I should have been playing. So they're here. They are definitely backstage. I'm going to wait until we are good to go and I get the thumbs up before I bring them on live. But ladies, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Yes. Yes, we are good. All right. Are we ready to rock and roll? Punch the air if you're ready to rock and roll. All right, are you ready to start? Yes. Yes. We're ready. All right. Well then, let's not waste any more time. Let's bring them in, shall we? Here come the girls. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto the JFDI podcast Sarah Llewellyn, Hayley Morris, Leisa Songhurst, and Berni Donaghy. I welcome you, ladies.
Hello. Can we just apologise for the absolute mess that we were just in? But we're here now.
Oh, it's lovely to see you, and don't worry about it. It just meant that I had to talk for. So
we apologise. It's connection issues here at the lodge.
Oh, it looks lovely. So where is it? Where are you?
We're at Brompton Lakes.
Richmond in North Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Oh, Richmond in North Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm going there in July.
Well, here.
What, to the lakes?
No, not to the lakes. I'm going somewhere else, but it is in Richmond. I'm going to a meditation retreat. I kid you not.
Wow. We're not doing any meditation this weekend.
That's it. So,
it's medication that you're doing, right?
Yeah, definitely. This is the medication.
Yeah, exactly.
Have we had much medication?
Not really.
No.
for us. Never have.
We thought we'd try and behave ourselves.
You have.
No, okay.
Oh,
Yeah. I
Leisa, what time did you start?
Well, I got out of bed at 4:30 this morning. Hence this. So yeah, it's been a long day.
Berni, what about you?
Well, I had to drive. So
Well,
since I got here, straight honest, so I got here probably 4:15.
Right.
So I'm doing well. I'm doing good.
Yeah, you're being well behaved. Sarah, what about you?
About 5 o'clock for me. I was later, so 5 o'clock.
Right.
But I'm making up for it.
And Hayley?
Oh, a late start, but I picked up Leisa at the train station this time.
Yeah.
So that's
Right. Okay. Cool. Okay, how are we all feeling? We all feeling good?
Yeah,
Yeah. We're doing all right. So far.
Fantastic. So what I'll do, right, is I'll explain a little bit so that those that are watching and listening know what we discussed, just so that it we kind of helped things move this evening, and kind of I might have, I've not modified things, but I have thrown a little something as a little surprise in at the end.
You curveballs.
Wow.
But I will say this: I think it's something that you'll all enjoy. So
We trust you, Pinky.
If not, we lose the connection.
Yeah.
It's a win-win.
brilliant. So we started all this whole thing. It's around the tunes, right? And the way that we decided to do it was we'd get 5 songs. I don't and however it kind of that would come about. Sarah sent me through the songs. What we'll do, because we've got 5 songs, we've got 4 ladies. All I'm going to do with this is I will. It's great the way that you're actually on the screen as well. This is helpful, and we'll just do it as we had discussed. That I'll give the song or the question to one of you, and then it's up to you whether or not you answer it or you pass it to one of your friends. And we'll see. Yes. And we'll see how it goes.
Sounds good. Go on then.
Fantastic. Right. So I was getting ready to these tonight. I was having a little boogie earlier on, getting down to some of the songs. So let's start with with Happy Hour. We're better do we start than Happy Hour. So I'll tell you what we will do with the songs. If there is one of you that you know that it makes sense that one of you kind of tells the story of that song, then that's up to you. Otherwise, yeah. So does anyone in particular think they want to pick up Happy Hour, or did I just go to Hayley?
This was my choice.
Is that yours? All right.
And the reason behind this is I'm going back to our booking days and Peterhead and day sessions or afternoon sessions, and we've had this discussion, but I can't remember the name of the pub. But there was a jukebox in this pub, and it was on the left-hand side of the main street, where all the banks. I just remember the banks, and I think Clark's or Clincards was on the right-hand side, and we used to go in there first. And this song, every time we went out, was one of the songs that we played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you remember the name of the pub, Pinky?
I'm trying to think now. That had a jukebox.
It was quite small.
See, I think it had a pool table. I'm sure that we used to go off nights and play pool in there, but
yeah, that was.
Oh, where was it? It wasn't.
There was one on the left-hand side, and there was one on the right-hand side. But the one on the right-hand side, I remember it all being white, and that was probably the one I think because it was so big inside.
Oh, yeah. The Chaplains.
I don't even know the name.
I don't remember that name.
I don't you wouldn't know, would you?
I'm strong possibility I might have been drunk.
So that's the reason behind it.
So that's where the House Martins come from. Yeah. So go back to that sort of time. What would you say? Okay, so this is for you, Sarah, but you can hand it to one of the other ladies if you want. So going back then to those days, what's your earliest memory of being together, the 4 of you?
Ooh, it's got to involve alcohol.
Therefore, no memory at all.
No. Yeah. God, I don't know.
I suppose it's just being on shift together, wasn't it? Because we're all here really obviously, weren't we?
Finishing the final night shift and then having a bit of sleep and then going straight out.
I come for your breakfast,
wasn't
it?
Breakfast,
breakfast in the mess and then going out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then you go through the stages of like sobering up and then getting drunk again and then go to NASMA and
Oh,
So
God.
yeah, that was it,
The,
wasn't it?
the thing with me, and I've said this to the girls often, is I know I didn't do very long, so my memory is shocking. And I can remember some things, but I don't remember as much as these do. And yeah, so
And the dementia doesn't have.
No, and the dementia and everything else.
And alcohol.
It doesn't help me. But yeah, that particular song in that pub, drunk, yeah, is one that sticks in the brain. Yeah.
See if you go back to, like we were saying there about earliest memories of being together, like on shift, what specific memories do you have of being on shift? What are the most vivid well, whoever.
Oh my God, I remember the neck massages.
Whatever you did in your own time, Sarah.
No, we're talking was it the smokers crew room?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just have a little bit of a neck massage, chill you out, then you can have a kick. Great.
And who would be dishing out neck massages?
Oh,
I obviously didn't get one, so I can't remember that.
yeah.
Well, it obviously wasn't the women.
No, it wasn't. I
No,
can't
it was the men.
Yeah.
What that were
I can't
giving you-
Really back then.
It was
Yeah.
very touchy feely.
I think that was
Yeah.
probably about the
Things were
time
allowed.
men were
Things were
carrying out
allowed,
the wedding checks as well. wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So many lines crossed back then. So many lines.
Yeah, but that was acceptable back then.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who cares?
We laughed it off.
Wouldn't have had it any other way.
What do you think of the difference that, like, you mentioned that it was acceptable back then? What do you think about, like, where things were back then and where they are now?
I think things were all right. Things were acceptable back then. Whether it was right or wrong, it was acceptable then. Things have changed, things have moved on, and things aren't quite as acceptable as what they used to be. However, at that time, we weren't offended and we weren't upset by what happened. And certainly we were looked after by the people who we worked with, and we never ever felt like anybody ever crossed that line at all.
No, that's because we were the perpetrators.
Yeah, right. Okay.
This is right, isn't it? I mean, anything that happened, if anybody was to even margin on, like, crossing the line, what you knew was that you also had, like, half a dozen effectively big brothers on watch there as well that were like, oi, that's out of order, and it would be, like you say, there would be other consequences for that person.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I think we were actually quite lucky to have joined up when we did.
Yeah,
And we had that time, because things, I don't know how we'd fit in now. I think we'd be
out.
We would.
It was what it was at that time.
Yeah.
And things were fine, and we were looked after by everybody. I certainly don't feel like there was anything wrong.
No.
Crikey, those flipping night shifts, honestly. Karen and I were talking about these as well. What, sorry?
Walking down from the Biff to the guard room at Buchan when he didn't know who was going to jump out from the cars. Like at 4 o'clock in the morning, you'd absolutely brick yourself, wouldn't you? And they thought it was hilarious. Can you remember them?
Oh dear, yes, I do. Oh dear. Right. So listen, right, go see if we can go back even further. And I don't know who. In fact, it would be good to hear briefly from each of you where, like, so we know of your earliest memory together. What drew each of you to the RAF?
Oh gosh.
Right, we'll start with you, Lisa.
Well, there's not a lot to do in Cornwall. Yeah, just, I don't know, I always wanted to join either the Navy or the Air Force, and I applied for both, and the RAF got back to me first. That was the reason behind it. But yeah, I can't say, when you went for your aptitude test and you were given, the choices of what you could join up as, I looked down the list and saw the one with the most money and went for that one. And that's my reason for becoming a Scopie.
Yeah.
Berni, follow that, Berni.
Right, okay then. So we've got like a big history in our family, and most were army. My mum and dad were both army. My cousins were army. I had one uncle who was in the RAF, and when you used to go to the careers office in Newcastle, you had the army and the air force next to each other. And I thought, and this is really shallow, but it's true, I like blue better than green. So I went for the RAF, and that was it. That was my choice basically. And I just thought, oh, I suppose the blokes are probably a bit more fitter, but
Oh,
wrong, eh? Joke, that was a joke.
I tell you what, Bernie. Shallow. You may say that sounds shallow, but preferring blue over green, you'd fit in right away here in Armadale. There's a big thing about blue over green here as well. Slightly different, but anyway. Moving on. Sarah.
I joined the Girls Venture Corps as a teenager, late teens, 15, 16. I think at the time was the girls' version of the ATC, but they didn't have girls in the ATC at that time. So I did that for a couple of years and thought, yeah, I want to join the Air Force. And one day we had the careers in at school, and the Army came in and gave us this really good talk. So I went home and I said to my mum, I don't want to join the Air Force anymore. I want to join the Army. It sounds great. You're not joining the Army. So that was it. I was told, yeah, you join the Air Force. Well, okay. And then, like Lisa, I did the aptitude test, and I got the score through, and I thought, oh, that one's got loads of money. Yeah, go for that one. So that was it, really.
Brilliant. And what about yourself, Hayley?
Well, I have a nice little career getting on already because I'm actually 5 years older than these three lovely ladies.
She doesn't look it.
Oh,
Never.
spring chicken. And I was in the unemployment benefit office, but I always wanted to get out of Devon and to go into the Air Force. And so I took the test at about 17. They said, oh, come back in a couple of years. And I kept going back. And then when I did go back one day, they said, I think we want you. So there I was. And I went, and it was a really, really good move. So that was me.
Brilliant. Oh, there we go. So that's how we all got there. Right. Fantastic. So we're almost up to we'll jump in with the next song. I was playing a little bit of Kylie earlier on.
Kylie is Hayley.
Yeah.
This is Hayley.
Well, I love Kylie, and I might not have ever seen her in concert, but I've always loved Kylie. I've always loved her dizziness, which is a little bit like me. A little bit.
None of us jumped in there. So
I just love the way that she's always seemed young and fun and just got on with everything. And I just think that's a bit of me. And I remember bopping around to her for years and years and just, forgetting about anything and just bopping around.
Yeah. Living your best life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
We've all done that. And
Kylie always reminds me of you, though. Yeah. Always, yeah.
And she still looks good.
And you do.
So do you.
And you.
Yeah.
Handsome.
So, yeah, I love Kylie.
Do any of the others have like a Hayley Kylie moment?
Oh, God, so many in the Granada of Hayley, like dancing away to Kylie, spinning round, and she's like totally in the zone. And that's why I'll always remember Kylie and Hayley. I'll always put the two together. I'll never ever not think of Kylie without putting Hayley next to her. Honestly, totally. And I just see her dancing. Still see it now from 89 or whatever. Hayley dancing on the dance floor to Kylie, and I'll always just think of her. Every time I hear a Kylie song, I just think of Hayley. In her world, happy as.
And
we have
there was
with us.
We need to introduce. Can we introduce them?
They're keeping this topped up.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, bring them over.
This is the lovely Rachel. This is Rachel.
Hello.
And this is my sister Emma.
Hello, Rachel and Emma.
Who's best friend. So they're assisting this evening.
They're doing a lovely job of topping us up. Yeah.
What a brilliant job! I tell you what.
Service. Wow.
There there was a few people that said to me before tonight, good luck. But I think that good luck should be directed at those two ladies.
I think you might have a point there.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! So there's lots of Kylie memories of Hayley bopping around in the Granada, I guess, probably in the block as well.
Yeah. You would know Pinky, yeah?
And so it starts. Okay.
You spent more time in that block than we did.
Yeah, Karen knows.
Yeah, it was her.
It was with Karen.
She was nipping out earlier on tonight. She said, "Don't you worry, I'll be back for the start of this." Yeah, I am familiar of the layout. I think I've got like a blueprint of the place on my mind. Yes. Anyway, yeah. Swiftly moving on. So, before we go on, have a think about this. So I'm going to throw this question to who are we throw this to? Berni. We'll throw this one to you. So, what would you say is the weirdest thing? Is there something that stands out? The weirdest thing that has happened when the four of you have been together?
All of us together.
Yeah. And if not when you're all being together, then just you're on your own.
Just the only thing that really sticks in my mind. Sorry, Lisa.
Jeez. What did they talk about?
I know. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. However, we went to Skeggy. We went on our holidays to Skeggy, Butlins, and that was probably 91, wasn't it? It was just when I got posted, and I was in Bulmer, and Lisa. I don't know where she'd been. However, all I remember is seeing her like flat out on the bed because I think we were sharing a room with her finger, like a middle finger in a pills bottle or something.
Yeah.
Not pills, like drinking alcohol, not pills or anything. Yeah, no drugs. So it was like lager, like a finger with a tab in the other hand, and she was like flat down. I think she was wearing a pair of knickers, and that was it. And that's like
attractive.
That's something that like.
I think we've got photos. We do have a photo.
Brilliant.
Like this.
In your mind, and it was like, yeah, that's it. Lisa with her like flat out, whatever time she come up with her finger in the middle of a beer bottle and a tab in the other hand. I thought, this is life. This is amazing.
This is living.
Right to respond, Lisa.
Well, I literally have no defence at all. I kind of remember seeing the photo afterwards. I don't remember getting myself into that situation, but I don't remember a lot of those years.
So, like those years, right? We go back to like those years, and let's kind of, so early 90s, was there a period where the four of you lost touch and you've like reconnected, or have you like stayed in touch since you met?
I think we have not necessarily all stayed in, like I've stayed in touch with Hayley constantly, and then we've sorry, the riffraff in the background.
My God, you can't get the stuff anymore, can you? Wow. You only made pizzas.
Go on. Get them told.
I like held back so long there.
Yeah. We're all spinning again. You trying to hear. Like, enough.
Yeah, keep it down a bit.
HRT, quiet, Emily girls. Sorry.
Yeah.
Please continue.
So I think I stayed in touch with Hayley. Hayley stayed in touch with Sara.
Yeah.
Sarah and Berni stayed in touch, and then collectively we sort of all got back in touch when Facebook and
It was a little bit of a
There was
gap.
a bit of a
We had a bit of a gap.
Yeah, we had a bit of a gap. It was
Right.
probably, do you know, it was after poor old Ross's funeral,
Yes, it
wasn't
was.
it? And then that's how we got in touch. Because I totally lost touch with everybody, and it was only because somebody else put us in touch after Ross's funeral. And that's how we got back in touch. So that was
Right.
quite, I can't even remember when that was, probably 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
was it?
Yeah, it was about 2000. Was it
Was it?
2007? I was trying to work this out the other day. Was it 2007?
I think I always that do you know who always he could tell you the date and the Mark knows, and I always forget. I think I've kind of sorry. I think I've sort of it's one of these for me. I kind of no, it's why I do everything that I'm doing, right? Because of what happens when we lose folk. But yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah.
It's also like, and you're probably right, because I remember not speaking to probably it was Sarah and Bernie. You were both at Ross's funeral, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. No,
I was
no.
there.
Sarah
Yeah, I
was.
was.
Sarah, you were there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I probably hadn't seen you for a long time before
Long
that.
time, yeah.
So yeah, no, that was I think let's say with a smile and a memory and a little tip of our glasses to him, and
He would love this.
He was.
He'd absolutely love this.
He was.
yeah, because it was a timely reminder, right? A timely reminder that one, none of us are getting any younger. Most of us have got kids of our own that are the age that we were when we all first met. And a reminder that do you know the thing for me that I've said to a lot of people is that I think a lot of the connection, like you say, I'll come on to, I've got a question around it, but the importance of that connection for, I guess, people that were the age that we were when we met, it was that almost that sort of transition from being kids, literally, and to kind of formative years, if you will. And it's, some of those things not only cause us, like, as we get older, some heartache, but some absolute pearlers of stories and amazing memories. And those don't ever need to die now when we're able to do this and share those memories. So, the more that we do that, so it's like, whilst, like you say, Ross, he absolutely would have loved this, but can we say cheers to him? We can really say thanks for, helping us all to kind of, just have that sort of memory and that wake up call periodically to kind of go, do you know what? Don't waste life now.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I think that was kind of where I would coming on to with my next question, and I'm going to direct it to Hayley. Just when you talk about the way in which you were all in touch, and then sort of around that time, you've all kind of got back in touch. You do it regularly now, don't you? What's kind of driven that?
Well, actually, Sarah, I and Berni had started getting in touch and started going out sort of every few months, hadn't we? And it was lovely. The very first time was really special. It really was. And then it was my 50th, nearly 6 years ago, and they did a surprise. This is where we came to this lodge place, which is absolutely beautiful. And they did it as a surprise for me for my 50th, and they turned up, all of them, and it was really quite emotional. I didn't know, I knew I was going away with Sarah for a night, but I didn't know where I was going. And these two lovely ladies were here as well, and the two lovely ladies behind
The
us.
helpers were here too. That was 6 years ago as well. Yeah.
And I had a beautiful weekend, a party, and it was so emotional, and I've never forgotten it, and it was beautiful. And we've done it every year since, apart from COVID year. And we always have some kind of little celebration, maybe some kind of theme night or something to do. We've Probably might have something tomorrow. We're not quite sure yet.
I'm sure we
But yeah, it's always extra special, and we just chill and we reminisce and we
And drink
drink
lots.
And catch up.
Yeah,
Drink.
catch
Yeah.
up.
And we slip back
relax.
into exactly how
we
Yeah.
used to be.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed
No.
at all. Nothing
No.
at
It
all.
really hasn't. You know, we just
We're back to
into
being
that. Yeah.
a booking, aren't we?
Yeah.
What would you say has let me how do I put this? Has there been like a standout moment of all of those sort of get-togethers that you've kind of done each year? Is there one? I know that
Birthday,
Yeah,
wasn't it? Hayley's birthday. She had no idea. She had no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Lisa was coming up, and
Yeah.
to see her face when
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
was there was just magical.
Yeah.
It was just absolutely
I didn't have a
fantastic.
clue. I thought we were
So-
going somewhere completely different.
Yeah.
And
She
went,
was chat all the way in the
Yeah.
car. And I kept having to think, I'm concentrating because I didn't know the way we were going. I know it's only down the road, but I had to find the place, and then I kept getting messages coming through like, we're here. Yeah. Oh my God. And then I got stuck at the traffic lights, and I'm thinking, oh, Hayley, stop talking, please, because I need to concentrate. Anyway, and we pulled up, and these two came out, and that was it. There were many tears.
yeah.
It had been a long time.
It was very special.
And even
For us,
and meeting Lisa,
Yeah.
Lisa up at the airport in Newcastle, and like she came out, and it was like we both burst into tears because we hadn't seen each other for years.
Yeah.
And like I'm not really a crier, but like I was proper emotional. It was like, oh my
I witnessed it.
God.
There was proper tears.
Yeah,
Everything.
like not even fake crying. So I wanted something. It was like real tears.
oh, it's wonderful.
Special moment.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think because you'd actually had a birthday party for your 50th.
I
She
had
was a little bit pissy
Oh,
with
yes.
me.
Yes.
Because
I
didn't
didn't
go.
invite her.
She
She didn't come.
she invited
didn't come
me.
either.
And we were like, oh no, we can't make it, you know, really sorry. And she was a bit pissy. But of course we had all of this planned and she didn't know. So.
I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Really.
But do you know what? I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. It was dead special. It really was. And
Oh.
it's been the start of something really special.
Yeah.
We so look forward to this
Yeah.
every
Yeah, we
year.
do.
We really do.
Yeah.
No, that's lovely. That is. What did you do? What did you do during the time that obviously none of us could meet up? How did you kind of do lots of regular sort of Zoom calls together? Did you?
We had a mammoth one, didn't we?
Yeah.
Did you have an embarrassing Zoom moment? Did you at all?
I'll drink.
This is for Lisa.
You're right.
This
What is that? Go on.
Yeah, so we thought we'll have a get together. I can't say it on camera.
Go on. You can.
So we thought we'd have a Zoom get together, which we did. And some of us drank more than others.
Right.
That was Lisa, not me, by the way. Which is pointless, Lisa.
It definitely was me. Oh, dear. I was definitely the most drunk one that night.
I think we were on together for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Longer. It was so quick.
Oh
So
god.
quick.
Yeah, absolutely hammered. A few stories. I might have been sick that night. Moving on.
I think everybody's been on that's the thing though about, and it's one, when you think about like get-togethers like you are, you know, and you might have arrived at sort of different places, and I know that you kind of talk about like playing catch up, but you notice how like no matter sort of like the difference when you're actually all together face to face and having those kind of, you know, those stories and then into like the flow of a round, everybody's kind of, you know, on a level similar par, right? Usually.
Yeah.
With the Zoom calls, because there isn't that proximity, because there's not that actual person there. I've been on a few calls as well, and I don't drink much these days anyway, but I've been on quite a few calls because obviously we were running a number of the sort of monthly ones, and there was some of those calls where there was one or two people, sometimes one person who was like stand up about like 100 times more leather than anybody else. So I think I've probably got a few of those recordings actually. Anyway, so is there anything about that night that you'd like to share, Lisa?
No.
Or should we move on to the next song? Right, okay.
Done on that.
I think so, yeah.
All right, so shall we move on to Soul to Soul and keep on moving?
Yeah.
Whose song is this? Is this yours, Berni?
That's mine. And the reason that I love that is because I always remember meeting Sarah on the train on the way to Hereford, and I'd got on at Newcastle and you got on at Darlington, wasn't it? And with Billy?
Yeah.
Was it Billy and Jackie? Yeah. So, and I just remember like being confronted by this person, and I said this thing, shit, that's like totally wrong. But like a flat top, but you know how Sarah's like,
you're talking about Sarah, right? Yeah.
Sarah.
Yeah, she used to scare me. She's still scares me.
You want nails? Doesn't he have a flat top?
I'm not nails now.
I know, but you looked it though. You just had that face. You had a face that says you were nails, and you had a flat top. You were Middlesbrough. Therefore, you were nails. However,
It's all bloody back, isn't it?
can you remember?
Yeah, I remember meeting you on the train.
Yeah, and I don't know how, and I really have no idea, but how we said, like, she said, you got to Hereford. No, and I was like, you did? You got to Hereford? I was like, yeah, you.
Always easy. That's
You
your
were.
day.
So anyway, we got on the train, we were on the train, and we got to Bristol, wasn't it? Was it Bristol we changed? No. It was somewhere like that anyway. And then we ended up going to Hereford, YTS, Young, Thick and Stupid, and all the rest of it. And because of the names, Payne and then Perkins, Sarah was in the bed space next to me. So I was like totally terrified of Sarah until we got to know each other. I know what I was. I was
It's
shocked.
only coming out now.
Well, I know, like, she had a flat top and she was from Middlesbrough. What else do you expect?
Oh my god.
Like, really quite scary looking. So anyway, we got on and we got on really well, didn't we?
We did.
We did. All through trade training, basic training, sorry. Went to West Drayton, did our trade training. And I always remember the blocks at West Drayton. And I shared a room with Amanda Wagstaff and met somebody else. And you walk down the stairs, past the telephone box, around the corridor, and you go to Sarah's room. And you were there with Billy and Dawn Lever, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And she used to play that, like Soul to Soul, and she had like really good taste in music, didn't you? You always have. She still has, hasn't she? I know. And I just remember like listening to like Soul to Soul and thinking, God, this is really good. And I really liked it. And I was into totally different music when I first got there. So it was just like Sarah. That was like, it is, it's like Soul to Soul is like Sarah. And I love. You know, somebody I met when I was 17. Yeah. We just turned 17. Our birthdays are like a week apart. So it was somebody I met when I was like a child and we're 50. Yeah. Like, you know, and we even got matching tattoos on our 50th.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Are you going to show us them?
Sarah's got better ankles than me. Get your ankles.
No, I'm not.
Those are beautiful.
No,
Sarah's got beautiful ankles.
The idea was to get 5 stars for each decade of my life. And I said to Berni, how do you fancy it? And she went, yeah. So we went together and we got 5 stars around our ankle bone for each decade of our lives. Because obviously we're so close together. So.
Meeting at 17, just a week over our 17th birthday. And like we're 50 now, and it's practice really, isn't it?
So do you think that song was maybe the point that you started to be less scared of her? Or
She's still
I'm still scared of her. I'm shit scared of her. Have you seen her? Look at that face. That's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Is anyone else scared of Sarah?
Zara's like the only person I've ever been scared of in my whole life. Can you believe it?
Definitely resting.
Even John Barlow didn't
Oh,
scare us that
arrested.
much.
Oh dear.
Brilliant.
I like that. So that's your song, and it reminds you of Sarah. So listen, here's a question, another one just for you all, and you can go into as much detail or body swerve it as much as you want. So you all met. I mean, the way that we kind of normally do this, like when I've got one person, we can kind of dive into a little bit more detail, and I know that collectively this is why you agreed to come on, because there's only so far we can deep dive when we've got 4 of you on, right? unless I pick on somebody, which I'm not going to do, because you put your trust in me. So, but what I'm going to ask is, what are you all up to these days? So.
Sorry.
Stop.
Hang on.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah. What are each of you doing these days? What are you doing now?
Right. What are you doing now? Oh well, I have got 34 working days until I retire, and I know I don't look old enough and all that shit, but yeah. I retire on the 5th of September, so it's like a huge full circle where I met Sarah in my start of my working life, and I'm like ending it with my friends.
We're incredibly jealous.
We are.
Yeah, I know I don't really talk about it much. It's just out in the background, but 34 working days, I can't wait.
Can I did pick you up. There's not some massive suicide pact going on this weekend, is there? The way I picked that up was I've got 34 working days left in my life. I started my working life with my friends, and now I'm ending it. I'm ending it all with them.
I'm not ending it. Jesus Christ, no! Too many things to do. Far too many things to do. But yeah. So yeah, that's where I am. I'm coming to the end of my proper working life, and I see where I go from here. Really. Fantastic,
Leisa. What about you?
I'm a phlebotomist with the community nurse team in Helston, which is, really enjoy it. Love it. Love going out and sticking needles in people. Really. It's really good. We've got a great team, it's a bit like being in the Air Force in that sort of camaraderie. And we've got sort of 30 odd people in our team. And we go out in the community, see patients. Obviously, taking blood is my main job, but there's other things, especially after COVID. Take the piss. Quite long. But so that's what I'm doing. No sign of retirement for me, I'm afraid. I'm going to have to keep working until I'm 90, I reckon.
But you enjoy it, and that's the main thing,
right?
It.
Yeah, I really do love it. Obviously, it's got its ups and downs like everything, but on the whole, I enjoy it.
Could I maybe have another one of these, please?
Oh, I'm like, really? Yeah, come on, stop. Jesus.
I am on it.
So, Sarah, what are you up to?
I work for an aviation company based at Teesside International Airport. Our major, they are now. Ben Hutchins is fun. And our main contract is with the MOD. So the company that I work for, I'm trying to think of the right wording.
I've got a dog. This is a dog between my legs. I'm rubbing a dog's head, nothing else.
You do have the camera just set at the right level there as well. So
she comes down here.
You can rub whatever you want, Berni. Rub away.
It's a dog.
Yeah.
Rub to your heart's content. Oh, hold on. Oh, I've got a visitor.
Ooh.
I've got a visitor coming up to see you.
Oh.
Come and say hello.
Let's see you.
Come and say hello. She never comes up here. Watch. Look. This is. Here. This is. Look, we got. She's here now. It's a world first. Right. Hold on a second. Go on.
Oh, she's saying,
I've got my pajamas on. I've took my makeup off, but I've got my pajamas on.
Are you having fun, ladies? Are you looking after him all right?
yeah.
I'm sat downstairs listening. It's quite funny. But
How are
that's me.
you?
I'm done. You can go and carry on, be tormenting him a lot.
Take care. Bye. Bless. Best French partner in the world.
Yeah.
And the best.
Oh, do you know what she did there? You know, when I was waving my bottle and I said, "Could I have another one of these, please?"
Come run up the stairs.
She brought me a beer. Yeah.
Oh, she's wonderful. She's the best wife ever.
She's a keeper.
I'm going to ask you a question now. Is she still there? Is she still listening?
Karen, you got a question?
Does she remember? And I'm going back years here, and I can't remember if it was trade training. I think it was trade training. We were at West Drayton. She couldn't get to the train station, and I went across to pick her up with my mum and dad in the car, and we went back to the station so that we could get back to base. Does she remember that?
Vaguely.
One massive memory for me. I'm thinking, yeah, I used to go and pick Titch. We picked her up. We went all the way to Saltburn, and then I think it was back to Darlington to get back to wherever it was. London. I'm not sure where we were, but yeah, I remember that.
I just like Titch's hair. Titch had the best hair in the world
did,
ever.
Still.
Yeah, beautiful hair. Best French partner in the world. Even at 7 o'clock when she wasn't working.
Yeah.
Lived her.
Oh, it's
She's
Yeah, a bit tighter.
She's just saying she's still got it. She does periodically Charlotte's hair.
Does she?
Yeah. But there you
Lovely
go.
lady. Lovely lady.
Oh, keeps me right.
I bet you should
very
do
happy.
Yeah.
Good on you,
Kind
Kate.
has to. I know. Right. Whereabouts were we? Sarah, you were just picking your words. So you can either do you fall into the category of you left the Air Force and then joined a civilian company, pretty much doing what you were doing before you left?
I had many shit jobs in the middle. I even worked in Butlins.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Were you
Do what?
ready?
Yeah.
You didn't.
She never entertains us.
Ah.
Never catch her juggling. Definitely not singing.
Who said that? She never entertains us.
I was customer service.
Where? Where was
I
it?
don't remember that much.
No. It's quite hard to air.
The did.
Shit.
Anyway. Yeah. So that's where when I left, that was the first. That was the first job I had. Yeah, you've got to start at the bottom, haven't you? When you work, obviously. So that was the first job I had. Now I work for an aviation company based at Teesside, and we work our big contract. Our main contract is the MOD. We help train the RAF. We work with the RAF in the air and we train them over the sea. So those people that go on Flight Radar 24 and watch us will know what we do. Yeah, and I work in ops. Yeah.
Ah, nice. And then you enjoy it? I take it you
I
must.
absolutely love it. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, good. And Hayley, what are you up to these days?
Right, well, I had a complete different career change. I left the Air Force and went into childcare. I literally wanted to work with children forever.
That's another question ticked off for later.
And I started from the bottom and I worked my way up as a nursery assistant. I did all my qualifications. Stop it, you lot. And now I'm in part of the management team for 2 nurseries, 2 Montessori nurseries, and I love my job.
Oh, brilliant.
What are you all laughing at?
It's Lisa.
Did you hear what she said?
I didn't hear what she said.
No.
Hear it,
Getting
getting
older.
Getting a bit older.
She's not great with technology. She won't be able to say
Absolutely
that.
not good with technology. I had to do something that wasn't technology.
Hayley's the care and shareable
Yeah.
out of all of us.
Yeah.
The rest of us aren't.
Yeah, I'm the fluffy one.
Hayley's going to pray for all our souls.
Oh yes, I do like going to church as well. So yeah, I'm gonna pray for them and look after all the fluffiness. Stop it! It can be so nasty to me at times. They really can. I know they love me really, really. What's wrong, Sarah?
I've lost 3 of you. That's it.
It has to go well at some point.
Back in the room.
Oh, dear. Right, who wants to talk to me about meatloaf?
Sorry?
Sorry.
Who wants to talk to me about meatloaf and Bat Out of Hell?
That's me. That's me. Yeah. I can't say there's any particular memory. It's just like an overall memory of us screaming at the top of our voice. I wouldn't say singing, but screaming at the top of our lungs along to Bat Out of Hell, and just smiling and laughing and having the best time together. It's one of those songs that like everybody knows, everybody gets involved in, and we just have such a cracking time to it. That's why.
How far back does that go? Was that from like right back in the day?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it's when was it released? Like it was released so many years before. You know, we joined up, but yeah, it's just one of those ones that never gets old, does it? You know, brilliant. Out of Hell, bring it on.
We'll be bringing it on later.
Yeah, the neighbours will bring it on.
Yeah.
We always have a good rendition of what's it called? Paradise
Paradise,
Dashboard
yeah.
Light.
I was going to go for that one, but it's so bloody
It's like
long.
15 minutes on. However, every year we put it on full pelt and we
Yeah.
sing along to it. All the rest of the lodgers, they put a complaint in the
Yeah.
next day. However, we enjoy it, so get over.
What actually happened? What actually happened there? Because I remember this that a complaint being put in. Was there not?
That what? Sorry.
Did something not happen recently where you were together in someone's house and somebody put in a complaint, or is this a group of other ladies I'm thinking about?
You
Yeah.
clearly
Wow,
got too
no.
many groups of
I'll
ladies.
put my money on Becky Kinroy
Yeah.
Taylor. Yeah. That must have been her.
Sorry, Becky.
Oh,
I thought you were on the bus, Becky. It was you. It was you.
I actually, do you know what? I actually think that you might be right. I'm just.
I know Becky too well.
I'm just gonna. Oh my lord! Right, listen. So I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna. I had you on so I could see you all in your Technicolor glory. I had us on full screen, but I can see all of the comments. So I'm gonna read and I'm gonna put up some of the comments. Oh my lord! There's so many people watching. So yeah. Have you been looking at all the comments?
No, unfortunately, it wouldn't matter if we could see the screen because we can't see our eyesight now. You know, we're that old.
Right. So you've got Becky was on, Dave Large was on, Gina Grant was on. She said it's nice to see you all. Carol Bircham says hi, girls.
Hey, Carol.
Becky says you're looking fabulous, ladies.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Malcolm Clark.
You can see that. I can read it, all right?
I've got very
Oh,
I'm the only one that can read it.
And look who else is in the house, Mr. Blades.
Loughborough accent. Oh God, have I still got it?
Yeah, you have.
Yes, you do. Mr. Pearson is in the house.
Hello, Paolo. Oh, we've not aged.
Now,
Was it West End Bar? Oh, was it
Oh,
West
it
End
might
Bar?
possibly,
Yeah, it could have been, yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Julie.
Gina.
Drummer's Corner.
Which one?
Was it Drummer's Corner? They'd called it West End.
Jesus, Piggy.
Sorry, Bernie. What did you think I said?
Scrubbers Corner.
What?
Scrubbers Corner.
No.
Right. I'm talking scrubbers.
Drummer.
Scrubbers. Like a scrubber.
Right. Mr. Barlow says there was a sobering upstage. Every day is a school. Was a sobering upstage? Oh, yes. Who else? Mr. Goodser is in the house, says hello. Who doesn't love a bit of Kylie?
Yeah.
Andy O'Hare, hello. I'll tell you what, he got a big cheer there.
Oh, he did? He did, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, you did,
Everyone's
Mr.
about
O'Hare.
Andy O'Hare, though, aren't
Yes.
they? Little
Yes.
cheeky leprechaun.
A big cheer for a big character.
Yeah,
Wasn't
absolutely, yeah.
He's a Land's End to John O'Groats boy, though, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
January 7th, yes, that's right, it was.
How could
January
you read
7th.
that?
I thought
Yeah.
he 34 or something.
Yeah,
It was January 7th.
Read that.
That was.
So there we go. And the comments just keep rolling. There you go. Who else have we not? Oh, look. There you go. Terry O'Neill.
Hey, Terry, you!
Aw.
I went to Terry's top table a couple of years ago and it was a fab night at Bulmer. Absolutely brilliant. Love Terry.
There we go. Right. Okay. So we've had Meatloaf. We've had Soul to Soul. We've had Kylie. We've had the House Martins. We've got one more. But before we go on to the last song, I'm gonna come to, well, in the middle, right? So this is directed to Sarah or Bernie or both of you, because you can direct this out to Lisa and Hayley if you want. I've just put a question down here. It just says simply, define friendship.
Sarah, Hayley and Lisa.
These four. Yeah, me, obviously. These three.
Do you know what?
They're all right.
Do you know what? The job I do now, I've done it for 22 years, and I've never, ever, ever met friends like I have with these girls, the ladies. It doesn't happen. And everybody who I talk to at work, it's like, they're like, oh God, you've got friends who you've known since you were 17, 18. And that's like, yeah. And they're my best friends. So they are.
It doesn't matter if there's been 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months. And with Lisa, it's an annual thing.
Yeah.
I wish it was more, but at the moment it's only annual.
She needs to move from shitty Cornwall.
What?
Yeah,
I want to be down there.
maybe not.
Devon.
But when we see each other,
Cornwall here.
yeah, I'm with you. When we see each other, it's like yesterday.
Yeah, we're back in the block. We're back in the block at Buckingham, and that's how it is. So this is it. This is friendship, and it means so much.
And I'm sure there's other people out there
Yeah.
that'll understand
Yeah.
where we're coming from.
Yeah.
Yourself
People's
included.
names pop up, and it's like, God, yeah, I remember seeing them, and you know, I was out walking in Tynemouth about 3-4 years ago, and we walked down the front street in Tynemouth, and I looked in the pub, and the Salutation Arms, and Taff Pete was there. He was sat at the window. And I looked in, I was like, oh shit, that's Taff Pete. Well, I've never seen Taff Pete since 1989. And he come running out. I was like, oh my God, Taff. And this was like years ago, years later. And it's like, you don't get that with any other job that you do. In the RAF, you bump into people wherever, random places. And they're your mates, they're your proper mates. And I've never made mates that I have in the RAF outside at all.
I think it's so intense, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're in
We
there,
grew up together. We were children,
when you're
weren't
living
we?
together,
Yeah.
eating together,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's working together, we're doing everything together.
And doing
So,
such an important job.
yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Well,
if you knew what you
we
were doing.
we wouldn't do it.
It's an interesting point though, Hayley. Do you think that when you leave the Air Force and you think of, all joking aside, the fact that when we did a job, regardless of whereabouts you were in that sort of end-to-end process of air defence, whether you were movements, helping some controller or whatever you were doing, that lives were at risk every single day, and that is like when you leave, it's not the case. And I think did that, like you say there, I think at that point in time, being so young, and we're put into situations where you have to put your trust and faith in people on a some type, at times, a day-to-day basis, and then when you leave, it's a big change, right?
Yeah, I think, maybe the 1 hour or 2 hour you were on position were intense. And yeah, they were really intense, and you were doing the job. And then as soon as you got back in that crew room or you were off shift, it was completely different, and you were just relaxed and just going for it and that was good, wasn't it? You needed that.
Yeah.
And I think that's right with every job, but I think in particular that was something we definitely all did.
Definitely. Although I do think it's bizarre that we used to moan about doing 1 hour a day. And whoever had the manning board, if they were going to put you on twice, what? I've been on this morning. I think we didn't get born, did we?
It is true. I mean, could you imagine that in any civilian job where you said to your boss, "I've done my hour. Well done. I'm off for a smoke. I've got coffee. That coffee." All right. So here's a question on that. Right, between the four of you, who was the most conscientious when it came to work?
None of us.
One of these two.
Really?
Yeah,
you were. We didn't give a shit. You actually bothered.
I didn't even know
you were older and more sensible.
Oh, maybe because I was older.
She was older and more sensible.
Maybe.
Certainly a book.
I am the sensible one.
Yeah. I actually, I started to enjoy it once I got to Nita said. I think that was the only time I started to enjoy my career.
When you got older.
Yeah, but when I was at Bulma, I was a sim pilot, and I was the shittest sim pilot in the world ever. And I've apologised to all the fighter controllers who failed the course and had to go to Beatrice because of me. Because I was shit. I was horrendous. Oh my God, I was so bad. But I didn't play video games like that. So Bulma was, I found me sweetie. It was probably like the worst person in my life to be a sim driver because I literally had no idea. I was crap at maths. I learned to play the flute in double maths because I couldn't do maths. So I can play a good tune, but I can't add up.
Finding out new things.
No. Yeah. Did you teach it for you and just hand you a triangle? Sit there and play on that one.
You had time there, you retired.
I might pick it up again. But Leah said I enjoyed my job and I loved it. I did enjoy my job. I'm booking, but Bulma, strike that off. Crap.
What about the rest of you? Was there one job that you absolutely detested above and beyond everything else that you did as a scopy?
Oh God, I can tell you.
Yeah, go on, what's yours?
When I went to Prestwick to do flight plans, that finished me off. I put my notice in.
Really? Was that it? You went there and left?
Yeah, absolutely hated it.
Done.
No,
Right, that's it.
Actually, while we're talking about Prestwick, I want to give a shout out to Coral because Coral was the only female at Prestwick when I went to Prestwick. So I was the second female to go to Prestwick,
Oh.
and she really looked
Coral
after
was
me.
lovely.
And I'll never forget the RAF Lucas Air Show. That's all I need to say.
Oh, cryptic.
Yeah,
Well-
Coral knows.
Why's that? Coral's on here.
I was going to say, I think we're going to have to message
Yeah,
her.
I Coral, what was
But
it?
yeah, flight plans. That just did me, and that was it.
So you are going to have to mention that now. You can't just say, "Oh, I'll mention that," and not say
Oh,
any more.
I'd never been to. I don't think I'd ever been to a big air show, like a military air show. And Coral lived over that way, and I went for the weekend. And we went to Lucas, and it was amazing. And I got so drunk.
No shit, Sarah.
Wow.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Wow.
That is disgusting.
And that was it, really. It was really good.
That was it, my
Thanks, Coral.
Was your arse involved in some way, Lisa?
What's wrong?
Was your arse involved?
My ass?
Because I've had my arse.
No.
Oh, look at Sarah. Look, this is
Yeah,
why
that's
she was
guilt.
scary.
That's guilt.
Scary guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, methinks the lady doth protest too much.
Yeah. Hello, Mabel.
Right, this is Mabel.
Oh,
Oh, can you
God.
see Mabel? This is Mabel who was stroking. Oh.
Good girl, Mabel.
So that's what we're calling it now, Mabel.
Yeah. How's your Mabel?
Hayley, was there a job that you couldn't stand above and beyond everything else?
Oh God, I do, yeah.
Have they?
Archie was fab.
Archie,
Yeah,
I like Archie.
Unless you got put on with like somebody who was like weird.
Yeah.
It was all right at Buckham, but when you got to other places, yeah, maybe it wasn't so good. Depends who you were on with. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So before we do the last song, here's a question. Can you think to whilst you were all still in the RAF together, what was, like, collectively, would you say was like the because you've kind of spoken about Hayley's 50th birthday and that being sort of like a really good, happy memory that you've had together. So before you left the Air Force, is there a standout memory or moment when you were all together at any point in time that kind of sticks in your mind?
Yeah, just.
I kind of can't think of one where all four of us, but one that really sticks out is when me and Sarah turned 18, and like we were at the blocks up at
NFL.
NFL, yeah, and we sat on the stairs, and it was like, we don't have to go in because we don't get bed checked anymore. And we sat there. Our birthdays were in October, and it was absolutely Baltic. So it was always Baltic at NFL, wasn't it? But it was like, yeah, we don't have to get bed checks. So we'll sit here until whatever time because they can't check on us anymore. So that was something that always like sticks in my mind. And I always remember getting posted from there as well. And sorry to take over, but I was like devastated. I got posted in February '91, and I cried because I got posted. And Jock Thompson told us I was going to West Drayton, and I was devastated. And I was just gutted to like be leaving my friends, basically.
Yeah.
You mentioned bed checking there.
Yeah.
Becky mentioned bed checking when she was on. So I'd like to ask each of you, did you all pay attention to the bed check rule? Adhere to it at all times?
What? Hayley was like 30 or something when she joined.
I was 22.
You don't have to worry, Hayley.
You're very young, Shay. I'm only 5 years.
Oh my God, that's a
Yeah.
year and a half, isn't it? Oh my God, this is going to be a really good weekend now.
Yeah.
That,
We were 18
Whoa.
Tuesday.
isn't it? I think it was only me and Sarah got actually
Yeah.
bed checked, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody else got bed. We could bed check other people, but obviously we had to get bed checked. So it was like, we're not responsible for ourselves, but we can like bed check however many people. But God,
So
you
when
didn't
when you were under 18, you kind of seem to have avoided the question. When you were under 18, did you skip bed check at all?
Oh, we were below 18. No, didn't we?
No, we were
No.
allowed.
How we?
They were
No.
good girls up until they were 18. Then it all went to shit.
I wasn't giving up that £19.46 to get kicked out. That must be bed check. You're joking, aren't you?
Well, you didn't do what Becky did, which was like dash back from like wherever she had been to
Becky
get
came
into
out of
bed
that
fully dressed and then jump out.
She was a rebel without a cause who smoked fancy cigarettes with gold tips. Yeah, and had emerald jewellery. So don't put us in the same category as Becky. She was way above us.
I remember the cigarette.
I know, they were so fancy.
Gosh.
I was smoking like Benson and Hedges or something, like
Some
tapping them off everybody else.
I used to do that.
Oh, brilliant. Right, so we've got the finale, right? You've got do you all know what this last song is, by the way?
Yeah,
You listen to it.
yeah.
All right, so you've got Bring Back the Time by New Kids on the Block, featuring Rick Astley, On Vogue, and Salt and Pepper.
Wow, what a lineup.
what a trio.
So where do we start with this song?
Sarah.
Oh, I heard it. I heard it on Radio 2 were playing it, and a few weeks ago, and I listened to the words, and not all the words apply, but most of the words apply, and it's just the people that are singing, and I think one specific line says, "Take me back to 1989."
No. Oh God.
And this is it. And I thought, oh my God, there's like all these icons singing this song, and they're singing about the past and just some of the things they say. And I thought that is rather apt, actually. So let's go for that as our finale.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Good choice, Sarah.
Absolutely
Thanks.
brilliant.
I'm good at music.
You are. You're very good at music. You
I-
are.
yeah.
Really good.
So I quite often pick a question based on the song. So if each of you could go back to 1989 as a fly on the wall, in any room during any scene, what would that be if you could go back to 1989 and be a fly on the wall?
You were a fly on the wall in 1989.
I would go and I'd be on the corner of the dance floor looking down to everybody having the best time ever.
In the G?
Yeah, big G.
Yeah, that would be a nice fly.
Yeah.
Well, you
And
know
so
that
the best lives, dancing and not having a care in the world and being with the best mates.
it wouldn't be prudent of me to skip by this point and not mention that for anybody that does want to revisit that scene, they can just read a copy of The Disappearing Scotsman. It's given.
Oh.
Dave Lodge is happy. I've got my plug in now. Right, so we've got New Kids on the Block. All of the times relevant. What about what would you do, Lisa? You could go back into 1989, and Berni's fly was already you'd already flown together into the G.
I was going to say I probably would have been with Bernie to be fair.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Before we went to G.
Yeah.
Let's look at it as like four little flies on the wall. Like Bernie's taking you to the G, and then it's Lisa's turn, and you've kind of taken them from the G to where?
Yeah, yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, we used to go to the Chinese. What was the Chinese called? What was that Chinese called that we used to go to all the time?
Yeah.
No, yeah, that'll do. I mean, we used to have some seriously drunken conversations in that time. Yeah, I'd love to just like go back and visit like all of those times and just remember like because half the time we were so drunk, like my memory is shot completely. But you know, just to go back and like Bernie says, like see you living your best life and being young and carefree, no responsibilities, and yeah.
What about the Nazma?
Oh God, and the coronation. If you didn't come away from there with a carnation, you were devastated.
Yeah.
He obviously hated you. That was embarrassing. The first time I ever went to Asthma, I'd never ever been for an Indian takeaway before, and I had omelette and chips. Didn't know what to have. I like no idea whatsoever. I was only 17. Oh God, such a child.
Oh, brilliant. Listen, I could sit here and chat with you all night, but I'm not gonna keep you
It's getting so
too much
bored.
longer. However, I thought, just given that it was the four of you, I thought I might just do some questions in the theme of, and I don't mind directing these questions, but what's going to work best here for those watching and listening is that if I just ask the question, which is all prefixed with the question, who is most likely to, in your so if you want to shout them out, I'm thinking I chose these questions, so I didn't like pull these off some website. I was like, I'm speaking to the girls tonight. I've got Hayley, Sarah, Berni, and Leisa, so I'm going to ask them, who's the most likely to throw the first punch?
Well, not us two.
No, not us.
Lisa.
Definitely Berni.
Lisa.
Okay. Do either of you have any evidence to support your claim?
She's a feisty little
Oh, I
one.
knew that was coming.
Totally feisty. Yeah.
It's,
Lisa.
the trouble is, you see, Berni always sets me up for these things. You know, she'll be the one pushing me to give the first punch.
I got a pension. I can't.
Right.
Lisa, I'll say Lisa, she's a feisty little one.
Lisa, I should have my pen here and writing them down here, but I think it's right. So, next one. Who's the most likely to neck the first shot?
Oh, Lisa. Lisa.
Oh, poor Lisa.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
That's
what,
a nice
there's a
thing.
story behind that. Do you remember when we've I've not long got to Buchan and right, Berni came and got me from my room. I hadn't been out, hadn't met any of the girls or anything. She came into my room and she went, right, you're coming out with me tonight. I was like, oh shit. So I quickly got dressed, went down the pub, and she just bought me half a diamond white, and she went, put your neck back, you know, like she does.
Technically,
So-
that's not a shot, though, is it?
No, but I did neck it, and then probably brought half of it back up into my glass.
So yeah, Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa all
Lisa.
day long.
Right.
All day long.
Okay. So you'll like these ones. Okay. Who's the most likely to be afraid of spiders?
Oh, Hayley.
I was going to go, either Hayley or Sarah.
Yeah.
Saying that though, you
Yeah,
commented on the
yeah, we had a big
earlier.
spider in our room, and Sarah was just like, yeah, whatever. That's why I went for Hayley.
Oh, blue Nick for you too.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, no.
I have to.
No.
I'm going to go with Berni and Sarah on that one.
Hey, I don't give a shit.
Just pay back, love.
Right. Okay. What about this one? Who's most likely to forget their own birthday?
Oh no, not
I don't
me.
think any of us.
Ah,
No, not
yeah.
you.
I love a present.
No.
I love a
Definitely not
present.
Berni, yeah.
Definitely not me. No.
No,
Not
but
that
they-
big,
No, that's good. Okay, who's most likely to fall down the stairs?
Oh, Lisa. I'm really like shit up on you, aren't I?
Have you met the girls?
Me?
Sarah,
I
Hayley.
fall downstairs.
No.
You just be sick.
No,
Lisa's
no,
more like-
no. At the moment,
like
I would fall
Lisa.
down the stairs. No.
Sarah's
I'll
always
take that.
sick. Sarah's just always sick. Like really badly sick.
Right, I've got a couple more. Who's most likely to chat up someone famous?
Somebody famous.
Somebody famous, Sarah.
Yeah, I would go for that.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
try.
Have you tried?
No.
You would,
But I
she said she
would.
would try.
I would
yeah.
try.
There we go. Right, okay. Who would
Oh yeah, the sugar one we did. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 40th.
Yeah,
Cool.
we went to the Sugar Hut for my 40th. Yeah, and I tried. I got my photo taken with the owner who's
Dead.
He's not local.
Yeah,
he's
he's
not
dead
local.
now,
He's no
isn't
longer
he?
with us.
You
Yeah.
got
All
a
right.
kiss from him, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I got a photo.
Kiss of death.
Don't exaggerate.
Oh, all right.
Photo.
What was what happened there, Sarah? I didn't watch it.
He's dead though, isn't he?
We went to the Sugar Hut in Essex. It's just something we wanted to do. We all.
If anyone watched
Towie
Towie,
at the time.
yeah, at the time it was the place to be, the Sugar Hut. We went there for my birthday.
I don't know.
She slugged him though.
No, I didn't have a photo taken with him.
Who said
That
he
was it.
slugged him though?
Not me.
Hayley, you said that she slugged
Heck.
him.
I didn't.
She
I think you're imagining things.
She said
No, you did. I knew you did.
Hayley, I don't remember that.
No.
He said he slept with him.
I think you did.
It was a good night, though. It was a good night. Very overrated,
I wish I'd never
though.
mentioned
Very
it.
overrated. Oh, my goodness.
Right, hold it together.
Miles. Next question.
Hold it together. Right, so I've got one on movies, and then we're almost there. So
I think you like that God for that, aren't you? Like, Jesus, get them off.
who is? I honestly, I could sit and talk to you all night, honestly, but I appreciate that you've got boozing to do.
We've got food on the table.
And-
We need you in a pub next time.
Yeah.
And also, rather than let's stay on and bore you with my chat, I get to ask you whether or not you're going to be able to make it on the weekend of October the 14th to 16th
That's my birthday. The 14th is my birthday.
of October.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm just really excited. I get really excited.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just have to get in touch with Michael and I'll tell him to bring you.
I'm there, mate. I'm there. Where?
Don't be put off. Wigan.
Wigan. What the fuck?
Wigan.
Just around the corner from me then. Perfect. Always is.
Why would anybody go to Wigan?
So what's happening in Wigan? We're going to be.
What we did was we looked central where all the motorways were. We looked somewhere we wanted sort of northwestish. Was looking somewhere between Manchester and Liverpool.
Why?
And that's kind of
Why not the northeast? You live in Scotland, for God's sake.
just because. Well, the thing is, it's just the first. We're going to do them regularly,
Okay.
All right, okay.
so we'll move them around.
Okay.
We'll move.
There'll just be me and James Boland in Cornwall.
Well, there you go. Right. So yeah, it's October. I think the 14th is the Friday.
I'm glad that you picked my birthday to do this like really big, like fantastic thing. I'm really touched.
I did. It was all part of the plan. This is the big thing.
You knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
There you go. Right. So we've got a movies question. Which one of you is most likely to snuggle up on the sofa watching romantic movies?
Oh, Hayley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Definitely
God.
Yeah. Probably is.
Well, like that.
Yeah.
God.
Right, okay.
Who's most likely to be watching action movies?
Don't mind a bit of that.
Nah.
I don't like it action as well.
Yeah, the only son.
Nah.
No.
All right. Okay. I'll cut to the chase. Which of you is most likely to be watching porn?
Watching.
Porn.
Porn. Porn.
See, we can't even hear you properly
Right,
anymore.
Ooh, nah. Ooh, God, nah.
No.
Ooh, nah.
No, you've got
Lisa. Lisa, man.
Lisa.
Big bet, isn't it, Lisa?
Right. I wrote another one. It must have been. I must have been thinking like way back in the day. Who's most likely to get naked first or take their top off at a festival?
Oh,
Lisa.
We're going skinny dipping in the lip.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Oh, they're in there. Yeah,
Are we?
we discussed it.
What?
In the lake.
Are you? That one?
Not this one. That one is there.
Fucking hell.
Oh, my-
Really? You're going to get locked up?
You two
No.
missed it.
Yeah, thank God.
I've got one last question for you. who is most likely to come on to the show now after having experienced this? Who's most likely to come on the show on their own?
None of
Lisa.
us. None of us. Bernie's got some sort of Leisa Sara. It's just what comes out of her mouth to everything.
None of us.
No, all together.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I had to ask. However, it's been absolutely fantastic having the four of you on together. I can't thank you enough. I've had a brilliant time. Some wonderful stories there. I can't thank you enough. And I think, look, from the comments, I'll not read any more out, but you've seen who's come on. Lots of people watching. I just want to ask you if you've got any message for the viewers, the listeners, before you all go and get ratted.
Wow. Thank you for being part of our life and
Absolutely.
being good mates to all of us, and that you can pick up wherever you bump into people. And thank you, just thanks for being our friends, basically.
Yeah, and listening to us straight
Yeah.
for the past
Sparing your Friday nights.
Yeah.
Every each and every one of them have got like a bit of a part of us.
Yeah.
And we've all got a history with all of them. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
And
listen, I will drink this
Thank you,
out.
Mindy. Cheers, Pinky. I've got no drink left in there. That's
Listen.
criminal.
Right, we shall say good night. Thank you to everybody for joining. Ladies, don't go anywhere just yet. I want to have a quick chat with you as we go offline. But thank you to everybody for watching. As said, this is our series 1 finale. We'll be back. We'll be back at the end of the summer, in the autumn, shall we say? We'll be back for another series. But ladies, thank you. Thanks to everybody that's been on.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.